A very good afternoon and welcome to Celtic Park. You can see behind me the teams are out on the pitch. The fans are beginning to get settled into their seats for this fifth round William Hill Scottish Cup tie between Celtic and St Johnstone. Yes, remember them. Familiar opposition, of course, this afternoon, but a little bit of a different feel in the air, Simon Donnelly, because this is a knockout competition.
Yeah, it's Scottish Cup day, so it's obviously a different tournament, but yeah, a wee bit of familiarity with the games coming a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, as I say, I think it's going to play more on St Johnstone's mind today. I experienced it at Dundee United when we played Celtic 4 games back to back, and if you're continuously getting beat, you know, it does play on the minds of the players, and I think it'll be more of a mental thing for St Johnstone today rather than Celtic.
Having said that, the manager quite often goes on about complacency. Celtic win the vast majority of their home domestic games. The manager's only lost one here on Trophy Day to Aberdeen, so he always talks about this, you know, being aware of complacency. And I suppose with it being a cup game, there is a sense that St Johnstone might be thinking, do you know what, it's a bit of a free game, we might as well go for it.
Yeah, and I would like that to be the case, you know, because 9 times out of 10 teams come here and park the bus and make it really difficult. So yeah, it would be nice to see St Johnstone come and have a go. As you say, it's a free hit. It's another important tournament. You know, the success that Celtic have had in the last 2 seasons, they don't want to slip up, you know, going for the treble. So it's a big day.
It is indeed. Let's have a look then at the starting 11 that the manager has gone with this afternoon. Scott Bain in goal, a back four of Toljan, Boyata, Simunovic and Johnny Hayes. So Emilio Izagiri still out after that injury he picked up from that horror tackle against Hibs. Scott Brown and Callum McGregor in the sitting midfield positions. Christie, Forrest and Sinclair. Forrest out on the right, Sinclair on the left, Christie through the middle and Oliver Burke up front. On the bench for Celtic, Craig Gordon, Nir Beaton, Olivier Ncham, Odsonne Edouard, Mikael Lustig, Timothy Weah and Christopher Ajer. A very strong bench, Simon, but what do you make of that starting 11?
I like the look of it again. I was really impressed with the right back on Wednesday night against Hibs. I thought he's really come in and slotted in really well. Experienced, you know, at 23, 24, he's been in Dortmund, the set up there. So, and then the midfield to front, you know, the midfield three the other night bossed Hibs completely. The energy of Christie and McGregor, the creativity, the discipline of Scott Brown, you know, he was everywhere on the pitch the other night as well. And then the manager's got the luxury just now, you know, on top of all the injuries, he's still got a luxury of changing the top 3. James Forrest, great to see him back in. Comes off at the end of the game last week and you're thinking that could be a spell on the sidelines, but great to see him back. And as I say, he's got the luxury there that he can chop and change that and keep it fresh.
You can see it's an absolutely gorgeous day here in Paradise. It is a bit cold, but a beautiful sunny afternoon. Dare I say, there's a little touch of spring in the air. What you can see as well, Simon, with that bench is that despite the fact that we've had injuries, there are still options there and there's clearly still some depth in that squad. Yeah,
you look, you know, if the game is going to be tight, you look to the bench there for impact. Edouard and Weah, you know, Weah's in his short spell here, comes off the bench and scores, comes off the bench and creates goals last week at McDermott. So you've got the impact there from the bench, and it's great for the manager to have.
Let's hear from the manager, Brendan Rodgers, and Celtic's Callum McGregor.
We've played St Johnstone 4 times already this season, and it's only human that you can be maybe blasé about going into these types of games, having won the games and played well in them. However, we've always tried to train the players with the attitude and the learning that every game is different. You know, you have to respect every game, and like I say, we work very hard on excellence in our work. And that's not easy. You know, anyone who's been in my position will tell you in respect that how difficult it is. You know, that when you're winning games and playing well, how to sustain that. So, but the beauty with these players is that they're very focused. You know, the culture that we have is very much based around that. That no matter how we are doing, how we're working, that we can always improve, we can always be better, and that's the mentality we'll take into this game. You know, the team's playing well, we're winning, but we can be better. And our objective is to get through after the weekend.
Does it make it sometimes more difficult when you play the same team repeatedly?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously in a short space of time, you know, you probably come up against, like when they played at Celtic Park, they sat low, and then when we played them away, they came after us a wee bit. So, you know, it's kind of what they're going to do next. So I think that gives you know, as something to think about in terms of that, what they're going to do, and then how are we going to play. So it's probably a bit of cat and mouse in terms of the tactics of the game and that. But you know, we've just got to look after our side, prepare properly, and hopefully get the win.
You've of course won the last two, but this is the one that you really want to win.
Yeah, of course. It's knockout football, so you know you've got to turn up and play well on the day to get through. So as you say, you want to win them all, but this one, you know, you can't afford any mistakes.
It's incredible to think since Brendan Rodgers has been at Celtic, he's never lost a domestic cup tie. He's won every cup that he's been in, and it's thanks to players like Callum McGregor. I mean, he's already played 50 games for Celtic and Scotland this season, but it's players like him, the consistent performers under the manager.
Excelled in all those games, you know, and it popped up in finals, important games, goals against Rangers. He's similar to James Forrest in that respect, you know, and players that the manager can rely on week in, week out, and it's a fantastic record. I actually think they beat the consecutive cup record today if they get the 24 wins under Brendan. I think that's held with him and Walter just now, so it's a big day for the club and Brendan.
It is indeed, and it's good to see James Forrest back. There was a little bit of a scare when he had to go off after scoring that important goal up at McDermott Park, but back in the starting 11 this afternoon, so clearly just a precaution that day to take him off.
It's worrying at the time when you see him going straight off and up the tunnel and leaving the team with 10 men. You think, you know, or you fear the worst. You know, James is quite a pacey player, and you know that can sometimes you can get plagued with hamstring injuries. But it's great to see him back. Obviously, it was a precaution. He's fully fit for today's game.
It's an incredible defensive record that Celtic have had of late, considering the injury concerns that we've had in those positions. 16 goals scored, 0 goals conceded in 6 games. I mean, we literally haven't lost a goal since that day at Ibrox.
Return to the campaign, you know, I think after the disappointment of Ibrox before the turn of the year, you go away and refresh, and the guys have come back and it's been excellent. Since the Airdrie game here, you know, they haven't put a foot wrong. Away to McDermott, a hard place last week, and still to concede a goal. The form of Scott Bain, and as you say, the back four continuously shuffling about, but look really secure.
We're going to hear from Jozo Simunovic. We got an exclusive chat with him up at Lennoxtown this week. We'll hear from him shortly. Talk to me from a player's perspective, Simon, about a cup game. Do the players just prepare for this exactly the same? Do they have to almost be reminded that this is a cup game?
You have to prepare exactly the same. I think obviously that little edge, you know, as Callum touched on there, you know, you only get one bite at it. You know, if you get beat here, you kind of make up the ground as you can in the league. And the fact that they're on such a really good roll, and we touch on the treble, nobody wants to slip up. So that might be the only difference, but other than that, they'll prepare like every other game.
Yeah, and they'll also know the opposition better than most. And one player that they do know is one of the top performers in the league is Zander Clark. So, you know, Celtic have had to be at our best to get anything past him, which we'll see very shortly.
It was fantastic up until James got the goal last week. You know, you're wondering what Celtic had to do to beat him. A really good goalkeeper, and I think they've had a lot of clean sheets on the back of his performances this season. So, yeah, it'll be tough again today, but I just think the momentum that Celtic have got just now and the constant freshening up of the front three, I think there'll be more goals for Celtic today.
Yeah, we've played St Johnstone twice in the last 10 days or so, both 2-0 victories. Let's remind ourselves what happened in those matches.
Up against Alston, leaves it to Ryan Christie. Christie edge of the box, cuts inside to McGregor. Out wide again to Izagiri, just looking for the delivery. Izagiri thought the cross, plays it into the 6-yard box. It's Sinclair. It's a one-handed save by Zander Clark, and you have to say it was a top-class delivery, and that was a top-class save to deny Scott Sinclair his 14th goal of the season. Now with McGregor. McGregor's got time to drive forward, perhaps for the shot. The shot is in the back of the net. A wonderful left-foot shot, and with 7 minutes of the second half gone, Callum McGregor, with his 3rd league goal of the season, have given Celtic the vital breakthrough, 1-0 to the champions. Now with Christie. Christie goes into the box. Wonderful play from Christie, and it's wonderful goal. Well, that is absolutely exquisite. He spun, he turned, he lifted it over Zander Clark, and Celtic, in the space of a couple of minutes, now find themselves 2 goals ahead. Forrest is out wide. He's been blocked by Kennedy. Gives it to Lustig. Flicks it back inside. McGregor with a chance for his 2nd goal. It's a wonderful one-handed save by Clark to deny him. Again, wonderful football from Celtic. 25 minutes remaining, and here comes Simunovic. Thought about the shot, instead gives it to Forrest. Forrest back to Simunovic, a chance for Simunovic. It's saved by the goalkeeper. Well, it would have been a remarkable goal. He's only ever scored twice for Celtic, and that would have been a wonder goal from the Croatian. Cross to Edward, he gets his first touch. Still Odsonne Edouard takes a shot. It's saved again by the goalkeeper. Well, at full stretch, Zander Clark denies Odsonne Edouard. Forrest up against Tanzer, drives towards the edge of the area, clips it across, looking for a Celtic head. It's a chance for Sinclair. It must be a goal, and it's cleared by Shaughnessy ahead of Odsonne Edouard. There's two Celtic players lying on the ground. Scott Brown lofts that one forward, looking for Weir. Good first touch from the young American, plays it across the 6-yard box. Forrest, it's a wonder goal! Wonderful touch from the teenager, and another McDermott Park finish from James Forrest, and Celtic have the breakthrough. It's St Johnstone 0, Celtic 1. Headed clear by McGregor. Suddenly Celtic are on the attack. It's a chance now. McGregor on the left, Timo Weir on the right hand side. Sinclair through the middle, Timo Weir back to McGregor, edge of the box. Still McGregor can play it back to Timo Weir. It's a chance for number 2. The American's done it again. Celtic with all 3 points. Timo Weir, 1 assist, 1 goal, 3 points, 6 points clear. Celtic leads by 2 goals to 0.
So 2-0 victories against this afternoon's opposition in recent days. And Simon, it always kind of hi guys, it always kind of frustrates me when I hear pundits, especially from down south, they see Celtic winning things, they see Celtic winning trebles and double trebles, and their automatic reaction is to say the standard of the opposition must be really bad. But if you actually teams as such as St Johnstone and just blithely dismiss them as being inferior opposition, but you see how hard Celtic have to work to actually get these victories. It's testament to the consistency of Celtic.
It's irritating, isn't it? You know, and nothing's changed even from my time here. We regard, you know, Scottish football as something less. You just look at Van Dijk and the impact he's made down south, and Andy Robertson, a guy I worked with. You know, the talent is there. And as you say, Celtic have to go out and beat whoever's there, and it's difficult at times. You know, that game last week, it took them to 70 odd minutes to break St Johnstone down, but the 4 goals there were first class. You know, different type of goals, a great shot from McGregor, lovely finish for Christie, the counter-attack for Weirs. You know, these are really top-notch goals that Celtic are scoring. Yeah, and what kind of exemplifies that kind of the determination? Callum McGregor, we talk about him having played 50 games already this season. There he was at the end of that game. Now you're already 1-0 up. You get a chance in a counter-attack. You might think, all right, I'll leave Sinclair and Weir to go for it. But there he was, speeding up the pitch, and he's the one that ends up with that fantastic ball. Yeah, and he's got a deceptive turn of pace, Callum, with and without the ball. You know, I've watched him for the last couple of seasons at close range, and you know, he's got a turn of pace, but that desire to go, and you're down to 10 men due to James going off, down to 10 men, 1-0, you could probably, you know, afford them just to sit in there and try and protect the lead, but the desire to get forward and the weight of the pass is perfect for Voyer to put it in the back of the net. Yeah, I love watching that counter-attacking goal. I don't imagine Celtic will be looking to do much counter-attacking this afternoon here at Paradise. They'll be looking to get on the score sheet early and really kind of put St Johnstone's heads down, if you like, if they're thinking, oh no, here we go again. But, you know, one man, we saw him there going forward from a defensive position, almost scoring, is Jozo Simunovic, a player who's had his injury worries since he's come to the club, but he's approaching 100 games for Celtic. In fact, this afternoon is number 99. He wasn't aware of that, but Celtic TV's Ryan Rowe reminded him of it when he went to meet him at Lennoxtown earlier this week.
So, Jozo, you're approaching 100 games for the Hoops, you know, 100 games for Celtic. First of all, just how does that feel? And it's obviously been a very successful time since you've been here.
Oh, the feeling is amazing, for sure. You know, to play 100 games for a huge club, big club, and amazing team. So the feeling is amazing, as I said.
What would be some of the most special moments, though, that you've had at Celtic?
For sure, the season where we've been invincible. And that season we just played amazing, you know, had an amazing run and amazing games. But apart of that, double treble as well. So I'm thankful because we are not stopped on it. So we just want to go forward and looking forward about this season as well. But that 2 moments have been amazing for me, for sure.
And talking about going forward, obviously in 2019, this recent run of games has been brilliant for yourself and the team. The manager's recently singled you out for praise. There's been no goals conceded since 2019 as well. You've started the last 3 matches, so what's that been down to? Has there been any extra work going in there?
For sure, it was about the work, because even if I'm not been in the team, I never stop to work and never stop to watch where I can be better and do the stuff, extra stuff, after the training and some individual sessions as well. So that was the key for me. I knew my chance will come, and thanks God everything goes well for now. But it's not just about me, because this run what we have already is amazing. But it's not just about defenders. It's about all team. Because when you defend like a group, like a team, and that was the biggest thing, Of course, on the end, everyone gonna come and say the defenders been amazing, and we are. I'm not saying that we are not been, but they're just the final thing about all the team.
And talking of, the midfield and the attack, and yourself as a defender, you've seen a lot of new players come in and the recent recruits. What's it like in training every day, going up against guys like Oliver Burke, Timothy Weah and Bayo? Is it a good challenge as a defender?
Oh, of course. The new players always gives you some, impulse, even in trainings, but especially in the games as well. So some things, they bring in something new, and that was the biggest thing, of this, not only of every transfer window. For us as a players, and for me as a defender, it's always nice to play against new players.
And have the new guys, they've all connected and got on well with the rest of the squad so far?
Yes, everyone are good and everyone feels very well, and we just need to keep going like this.
So next up is St Johnstone, played in both the games, the 2-0 back-to-back victories, and at Celtic you often get the chance to express yourself, and in that last match you had a brilliant run from our own half and right into the box. It would have been a brilliant goal had that went in, but it must have been frustrating when the keeper got a hand to it.
Yes, I had already seen the ball in goal, but it was a very good save, But at that game, we just pushed, pushed more, and on the end we won that game. In that moment, somebody else could be in that chance, So we just need to look for it.
Jozo Simunovic talking to Ryan Rowe there. He could become an even more important player for Celtic. Dedryck Boyata's contract, of course, up at the end of the season. Benkovic on loan, but only until the end of the season. When it comes to the new season, Simunovic could be a very, very important player.
Yeah, and he's proven to be at the moment in good form. Approaching the 100th game for Celtic, it's a great feat. But yeah, he's one of the experienced at centre back, and if you're looking to the likes of him to bringing on Aya, the younger ones round about him, he's a good one to have at the club moving forward.
Yeah, and absolutely, it's an experienced head there at the back, always good to have. So Jozo Simunovic next to Dedryck Boyata in the centre of defence. Scott Bain in goal, Jeremy Toljan at right back, Johnny Hayes comes in at left back. It's a position he's not too familiar with, but he has played there before.
He's played there, particularly Aberdeen a lot, wing back or left back. He's got pace to burn, Johnny, and it's probably been a frustrating time for him at Celtic, picking up that bad injury and then not getting a lot of game time. So it's an opportunity, but Izagiri and Kieran obviously out, for him to go and show what he can do. And I think, from now to the run-in, you're going to need everybody. So it's a great opportunity for him. So
what do you think the game plan will be for the manager and the team this afternoon? We don't want to talk about replays or anything like that. What will he be saying to the boys?
I think to go and prepare the same as every other game here and go and try and win the game. I think St Johnstone will come and do what St Johnstone do. They'll make it frustrating. Despite it being a cup game, and we touched on it being a free hit, I think they'll come and sit in. And it's all about trying to get an early goal. If you can get an early goal, I've played in these games before, opens up and creates more space, to go and get the second and the third. But I think they'll go for the jugular again, Celtic. I think they'll go for it from the off.
With players like Forrest and Christie and Sinclair and Burke in that starting 11, certainly the firepower is there. All right, we're only about 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes away from kickoff. Simon and I will be back to do our half-time analysis after the first 45 minutes. In the meantime, let's get to your commentary team for this William Hill Scottish Cup 5th round tie, Celtic v St Johnstone. It is, of course, Tom Boyd and Paul Currahy.
Thanks very much, Jerry. Yes, we are just waiting the arrival of both teams. Celtic versus St Johnstone, familiar foes, of course. The third time in about 12 days that we have played the Perth side. 2 consecutive 2-0 victories for Celtic. I think we're pretty confident today, Tom, of going for 3 in a row.
Yeah, and we'd settle for another 2-0 victory. That would be nice. But yeah, judging by the formation of St Johnstone, I'm a wee bit surprised in terms of what the tactics will come. Scottish Cup tie here, chance to get into the quarter-finals, and I think they're going to come and play defensively. But we know that if they were to come out and have a go, Hibs tried it midweek, and the same outcome. But it was a better spectacle to watch for us. We normally come on and see against blanket defences. It's sometimes a difficult watch because it is trying to break this opposition down. But we've done it so well this season here at Celtic Park. We've got the perfect record in domestic football, so we want that to continue. We want that to keep going, and obviously, no matter what it takes, I'm sure the boys will still be too strong for St Johnstone.
Well, Celtic go into this game with an impressive 100% record in 2019. 6 games played, 6 games won. One of them was in the previous round of this competition, of course, a 3-0 victory here against Airdrie. Brendan Rodgers makes 2 changes to the starting 11, which beat Hibernian 2-0 here on Wednesday night. Scott Bain in goals, the back 4 of Jeremy Toljan, Dedrick Boyata, Jozo Simunovic, and Johnny Hayes takes his place at left back in place of the injured Emilio Izagiri. Ahead of them, Scott Brown, Callum McGregor and Ryan Christie. And then up front, a welcome return to action for James Forrest. He's on the right, Scott Sinclair is on the left, and Ollie Burke is... I'm just... pause there, yeah, the stadium announcer just announcing there's been a change on the bench. The Celtic substitutes, Craig Gordon, Nir Bitton, Incham's now dropped out. He's been replaced by Mikey Johnson, Odsonne Edouard, Mikael Lustig, Timothy Weah and Christopher Ayer. So we hope that there's nothing too serious for Olivier Incham. He's just making his way back from injury, so Mikey Johnson is now on the bench. But a strong starting 11 for the cup holders this afternoon, Tom.
Yeah, a couple of... It certainly is, and no matter who plays at this moment in time, it's a very strong starting line-up, but obviously concern for Nisham. Hopefully it's just a little strain, a little something that he's not been comfortable with when he's went out there and had a good warm-up. We've seen during the week there's a lad who's feeling not too well when they come off. So hopefully there's nothing like that. We don't know, and obviously not surmising here. So hopefully it's just Mikey Johnson coming and takes place. But yet, starting line-up, there's a lot of similarities there. And in terms of the players come in, good to see James Forrest recover so quickly from his injury. And obviously the interesting one of Johnny Hayes playing his full-back. We know he's playing there. And given the formation of St Johnstone, given how we play here at Celtic Park, it's advantageous to have a more attack-minded sort of full-back. Not that we, as Aguirre and Kieran Tierney are not that, but certainly he's far more comfortable in those attacking areas. So hopefully he will have an impact in the game today.
5th round of the Scottish Cup, Celtic versus St Johnstone. Both sides about to emerge from the tunnel. Celtic looking to book their place in the quarter-final of the competition. Nick Walsh, the referee this afternoon. Scott Brown, the Celtic captain. Joe Shaughnessy, the St Johnstone captain. And Brendan Rodgers has I'm actually lost for words, whether it's just remarkable, stunning or just unprecedented cup record here. He's 23 domestic cup ties since he's joined as Celtic manager, 23 wins. Of course, that has also brought 5 cups, 71 goals scored and only 7 conceded, which of those statistics alone would tell you St Johnstone face a really tough task this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a stunning statistic, isn't it? But it's what Brendan has brought to the football club. He's brought in quality players and he's brought in consistency. He's improved quite a few of the players that were here within the team, and I think you're getting that as a result. But it shows you that the mentality of the players that he's instilled in them, game-winning mentality, because to win so many knockout matches, for us, in terms of where we are at the now, that you would see winning the cup competitions is the harder than winning the league, because of the knockout scenario where in one game you need to produce or else you're out. So that is an absolutely stunning achievement for Brendan Rodgers, and hopefully it will continue today.
Well, when you look at the St Johnstone bench this afternoon, Tom alluded to it earlier on, the fact that it's maybe going to be a defensive formation for St Johnstone. On their bench they've got Blair Alston, Danny Swanson, Michael Halloran, Ross Callaghan and Tony Watts, all kind of attack-minded players. So it may be that St Johnstone are trying just to hang in to the game and maybe throw out caution to the wind late in the game. Of course, this game, it will be 90 minutes this afternoon. Hopefully Celtic get the job done today. If it was to be a draw, it would be a replay at McDiarmid Park as the Celtic players go into the huddle. There's no green spotlight, of course, as we are in the middle of a Sunday afternoon. Celtic will shoot from left to right as we look from our vantage point here in the main stand. Another very healthy crowd at Celtic Park this afternoon. And Celtic looking to progress to the last 8 of the competition. The manager just applauding the Celtic fans as the players break from the huddle. It will be the visitors to get the game underway. Remember, this is the 3rd time in about 12 days that both sides have played. It's Matty Kennedy, who looked quite impressive at McDiarmid Park in the most recent game. He is in the centre circle, and as always the officials will wait just to get the nod from the broadcaster on the sidelines, and then we'll be underway, looking to book a place in the draw. That draw will take place tomorrow night after the Highland Derby between Ross County and Inverness Caley Thistle, and Celtic of course looking to book their place